everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. So while I'm out here watering my garden, El Manuel, because my garden's everywhere, I don't have fields, I got beds everywhere and stuff like that, I figured I'd talk with you guys about being a well-rounded prepper. What does well-rounded mean? Well, you guys probably already know that. But what am I getting at? Alright, so yeah, I'm watering my garden. That's a big part of it. Producing your own calories, having the ability to produce your own calories, as well as raising animals. We don't do that part right now yet, so that's why I don't really say that we're homesteading, because we're not. We're kind of playing at homesteading. We're kind of faking right now. We're always increasing our garden and stuff like that, though. We're always increasing what we're doing as far as what we're growing. We're going to be moving to the Ozarks soon, hopefully by like springtime, summer, next summer if that's the latest. At that point, we'll definitely be having animals. We're going to have chickens and probably some goats, maybe a cow. I'm not really sure what all we're going to have, but we're going to have some animals for and massive garden there, because we're going to be getting anywhere between probably 20 and 50, 60 acres, something like that, around that ballpark. So that's part of being a well-rounded prepper, is being able to produce your own calories, because no matter how much food storage you have, it will run out if you have to use it. If you have to use your food storage, a lot of people say you've already failed. Well, not really, because we have it for a reason. It's there. That's why we have a food storage. But I get what they're saying. I get the idea. If you can't replenish it, it will run out. Meaning that, yeah, you're on the road to failure, which isn't optimal. So producing as many of your own calories is a very important part of being a well-rounded prepper. We talk about food storage all the time, stockpiling food, yeah, definitely. Beans, rice, corn, grains, wheat, canned goods, canned proteins, all those kind of things, as well as medical. These are all things that will help you be well-rounded. A lot of people some people tend to start off, I did, on the tactical side of things, because that was my expertise. And guns and ammunition and tactical gear and all that kind of stuff is cool. It's high speed, low drag. It's it's tactical. So anyway, but you need to be well-rounded. Obviously, I don't just have tactical gear and stuff like that. That's why I really like the militant farmer concept. Here I am out watering right here, right? What do I have on with me at all times, right? Well-rounded. The ability to take care of things. In my neighborhood here, recently, a huge, I guess, cougar was seen. Some people call them mountain lions, depends on where you're at. Around here, we call them cougars. Up at my bug out location in the mountains, we call mountain lions. But it's the same thing. It's a big cat, and this was during the daytime. And I guess it jumped in one leap, it cleared the whole road, which is like a lane and a half. It's 2 lanes. Cars can pass each other, but supposedly, and this is what I heard from our community page. So I'm not really sure, as far as how reliable it is, how they just, saw some big cat. But if you're out here, if you're anywhere rural, there are threats like that. So you need to have pew-pew. You need to have guns on you. I say carry a gun always anyway. I live, pretty rural, and I'm not really worried about, Antifa walking on the road here and starting a riot in front of my house. It ain't going to happen. They're probably not going to get this far anyway. Somebody else would have taken care of it by the time they got close to me. But there are natural threats out there. There's, in some places where you live, there are big cats, or there's bear, or there's snakes, or there's, whatever. That's part of being well-rounded. The ability to take care of yourself, protect what's yours, protect what you're growing. Like I'm out here growing stuff. That's important. And, don't let anything, like we talk about a lot of different things in prepping, and don't do one thing exclusively of the other things. If you're just about medical, that's great if you have that knowledge. But don't forget the tactical side of things. Don't forget the combative side of things. If you are specialized in an area, that's fine. Obviously, my area of specialty is tactical, is security, is defensive, all those kind of things. Defensive, offensive, all that kind of stuff. Yes, that's my forte. That's my specialty. But you see me out here, I'm doing the things. Militant farmer. I'm watering my garden. I'm growing food. As you can see, look at all my beds and stuff all over the place. they're, you know, I got stuff growing crazy all over the place. But not only that, but all the etc. stuff that we forget about sometimes. Cordage, you know, the ability to start a fire. Skills are a big part of being a prepper, and being well-rounded. What's your skill sets? What are you skilled in? I know that even if you think that, you know, oh, I'm not a very good prepper, I'm not very, you know, I don't have all these skills that these guys have, you know, I wasn't in the military and stuff like that's fine. You don't necessarily have to, everybody doesn't have to have the same skill set. We need a variety of skill sets. Medical background, mechanical background, engineering backgrounds. There's a lot of different things. You know, gardening and canning, food preservation. There's a lot of different skills that are, you know, people are good at. And I bet you're good at some of them, even if you don't realize it or not. Important part of it is mental also. The ability to be ready to make tough choices. I talk about that often. I've talked about that recently in videos. It's an important thing to have. It's an important skill set to have. Not only, you know, do you need the, you know, like around here I need a chainsaw. I need garden tools. You need lots of different things, a variety of different things. And don't sweat it if you don't have the stuff. You're like, oh, it's so overwhelming. Yeah, I get it. It is overwhelming. Just take off little chunks at a time. That's why I say prep a little every day. And if you do that, you will get there. And you'll have that peace of mind that you are prepared. None of us can be truly prepared for all situations and all things. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter how tactically sound you are, how much gear you have, how much training you have. Let me stand in front of that so the sun's going down so you guys don't get blinded. It doesn't matter how good you are. You know, you could be, you know, some high-speed operator, spec ops dude, and get taken out by a little farmer dude with a rusty bolt-action rifle. He could just get lucky. You know, I'm not saying not to train. I'm not saying don't be ready. I'm not saying don't be one of those guys. That's really good to have because it lessens the chances that you will be taken out by somebody. But being well-rounded is very important. Not only being you know, I did videos recently about being a real man. Not only being a warrior, but having the ability to love, having compassion, having the ability to do different things. Just a sec. All right, I had to shift my camera because I got a water over here. But yes, so the flexibility is a big thing. I did a video quite a while ago now. I think I call it Semper Gumby, and that's always flexible. That's a big thing. We talk about that in the military all the time. It's a military term, Semper Gumby. Because if anybody has been in the military, they've heard of Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. So you need to have the ability to adapt and overcome. That is a vital skill, a very, very important skill as a prepper. If we don't have the ability to adapt and overcome, then, you know, we're not going to be ready for eventualities, because things are going to happen. Things aren't going to go our way. You know, all of our food storage, we may, you know, when we need it, we may open it up and it may be full of bugs. It may be bad. Hopefully we've stored it properly and stuff like that will be good. Or, you know, like we're living here in the Pacific Northwest, we could have an earthquake that could open up and collapse and swallow my whole house with, you know, a significant portion of my preps in it. That's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket either. Have caches. Have your food at your bug out locations. Have bug out locations. This is all part of being well-rounded prepper. But the mindset to adapt and overcome is a vital mindset. And how can you practice that? How can you do that? How can you get that? Well, a lot of people some people are inherent. They're just good at dealing with things like that. I've always been pretty good at that. So some people get that. Some people get it from the military. Some people get it from jobs. There's a lot of jobs out there that, you know, stuff that is unexpected happens. Life teaches you to adapt and overcome. Because if you don't adapt, then you're stuck. And you're just, you know, you're upset, or things aren't as good for you, or it has a negative impact. So life in general. But what are some things you can do? You can learn to roll the punches more, roll the flow. Just kind of, you know, chill a little bit sometimes and expect things to not go your way sometimes. Don't expect everything to go your way. And build in eventualities. Like I said, build in things like I have caches for my preps. I have, say, a bunch of different bug out locations for my preps. Say you have them in a storage unit or two, or in different areas or something like that. There's different options. There's different ways that you can do it. That you can store your preps, and that you can prepare for different eventualities. What about doing as much as you can now prior to an event, so that you have to do less when it actually happens? Do you have your fixed fighting positions built? Do you have your listening post observations built? Do you have a group of people? Do you have established garden like you see me watering right now? Do you have those kind of things, or do you not? Is that all stuff that I hear people say, oh, when stuff hits the fan, I'm just going to garden, I'm just going to grow my own food? Well, no, it's not that easy. Do you do it now? Do you have the compost? Do you have the soil that is needed? Is it taken care of? Is it prepared properly? There's just so much more to it. You want to do as many things now as you possibly can, because post-event, I used to say this all the time, I guess I haven't said it in a while, post-event, everything's going to be more difficult. So you want to do as much now as possible, so that when things are more difficult, you're not adding to it. You're not making it more difficult on yourself. Do it while it's easy. It's easy now. Food is cheap. Time is more. We have more time now. Whether or not you think that, okay, well, when SHTF happens, I won't have to go to work, so I'll have all that time in the day. Also, yeah, you will. So will I, because I go to a job. I work a normal job, but so I could say, oh, I'll have those hours. Well, true, I will, but there will be so many more. I'll be pulled in so many more directions. I'll have so many more things to do that we don't do in normal everyday life. So mostly for me, it would be security related, and or food production related, like you see right now, me watering. Yeah, have the ability to adapt and overcome. It's important that you practice these skills. Also, have a variety, like food. Like we talk about food storage all the time. I'm gonna move this camera a little bit this direction so I can talk a little more at you. Food storage options, not just beans and rice and corn and wheat and stuff like that, because you need spices, you need variety, you need canned goods as well as dry goods. You need long-term food storage stuff like that, as well as like number 10 cans of pre-made stuff like Mountain House Foods, those kind of stuff. Those are a good option to have also, but also have stuff that you can have. Rations. Rations are food items that do not need cooking, do not need any kind of preparation for. Canned goods all fall into that category, because all you gotta do is open the can and eat it. MREs, one of the prepper's favorites. I don't think it's one of the best options though, because they're expensive. But you can have those the survival rations. The sugar cookie type things that are Daytrex rations, SOS bars, different brands make them. So you can have those things, yes. That's a good option to have. Variety, like they say, variety is the spice of life. It will be, we won't be able to eat all the yummy things that we eat now in SHTF. We're not going to have pizza all the time. We're not going to have macaroni and cheese all the time. We're not going to have chips. We're not going to have soda. No matter how much you stockpile, you'll run out of it. Trust me. I'm a Diet Pepsi fiend, but I drink lots of water also. So that's my vice is diet soda. And energy drinks sometimes, because I don't get much sleep. So sometimes I feel like I'm existing on energy drinks. But anyway, that's a side story. Sorry I get sidetracked sometimes. Be well-rounded. Make sure you're doing all the things. Make sure that you have bug-out locations are important, whether you're going to need to or not. I do not think that bugging out is the option, is the best option. I think bugging in is the best option, because when you bug out, you put yourself at risk of so many different things that you don't have to worry about when you're bugging in. You're already established when you're bugging in. You already have everything set. When you're bugging out, you can run into different threats en route. You can get there and have somebody already in your bug out location. There's a lot of different things that can happen if you have to bug out. Now, if you have to do it, yeah, great. Have the bug out places, have the routes, have the planning, have all the things. The bug out vehicle, the cached foods, all those things. Yes, definitely have them. It's part of being well-rounded. But I guess the number one thing for me, thinking about being a well-rounded prepper, is knowledge. Don't just study the things you're good at. I know it's more interesting, or the things that interest you. Try to pick up different things that interest you, maybe, that you can, turn into preparedness, or that you can practice. That'll help you. Yeah, definitely. start on those things first. Start on things you keep prepping fun. Make prepping fun. I say that, you know, on a regular basis. If it's fun, it won't be that big a deal. It won't be a chore. It won't be a burden. It will just be part of your life that you enjoy. Get outdoors. Go camping. Go hiking. Go fishing. Go rappelling. Go, you know, do all these fun things, as well as garden. Keep yourself grounded. Also, don't let yourself get all worked up and into, you know, worried about things all the time. Worried about, you know, upcoming November elections and the chaos ensuing. Yeah, it's going to happen. So, you know, be ready for it. Definitely be ready for it. But that's part of being well-rounded also. Does it seem like most of the threat is going to be violence, you know, violence related? Yeah, it does. With all these thugs out there and stuff like that causing problems. So do we need to be ready for that? Definitely. But don't do it, you know, without doing the other things. The other things are just as important. So keep that in mind. Prep a little every day, and prep at a peace of mind out of fear. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.